Hey, how's it going everyone? Teysind here, and today I want to talk about upcoming games, specifically a post E3 sort of discussion and how I feel. I was busy around the E3 time. I had mid-semester, or I had semester, end of semester exams and stuff, and I was fortunately able to keep in touch with most of them, watch it all. There was a lot. Obviously, not as much as last year, but there was still quite a few good things there. So I've had a few weeks to let it digest, and I thought let's get right into it. So first up, just going over some like pre E3 trailers that came out. One was Ukulele. Absolutely loved the look of it. It looked really cool. I love the puzzle elements. I love the way the worlds look. They look very expansive, and it really has this Banjo Kazooie feel in today's era in terms of capabilities of what can be produced with games. And then during E3, it was good to see like some of the team discuss the game, go through interviews, talk about the I think it's like a play box or something for Kickstarter backers. They can sort of play, this sort of area of the game. It's not an area that's within the game, but sort of an area that they've created to allow you to sort of play some of the mechanics and everything. I think that's good. It's showing that they're giving support to the Kickstarters and showing that, their investment is worth it. And it's good to see that, we're actually getting live interviews and progress updates. Obviously, with the recent sort of issues they've been having, My Number 9, I guess it is a bit, it sort of, you could say, it possibly taints some people's views of Kickstarters and stuff. I guess it's, as Xander Scullion recently did a discussion on this, how it affect your, Kickstarters and stuff. It's not so much that it was a Kickstarter, it's how the game is run and the team behind that, So just because My Number 9 didn't do so well doesn't mean that is representative of all Kickstarters. So yeah, that was one good game that I really like to see, Ukulele. So still really excited for that game to come. Another one was Final Fantasy 12, the Zodiac Age, I believe that's what it's called. So finally we are getting that PS4 HD remaster. So it is a remaster of the Final Fantasy 12 International, I think it's Zodiac job system, or I'm not sure the exact name of it. It was a Japan exclusive. It's like the Kingdom Hearts Final Mix versions that were originally, Japan exclusive. So I think it has like job systems and stuff. I believe the original just had one style or something like that. Never played through that game, so still not familiar. I believe it's got like the Final Fantasy 10-2 remasters. It's got the original soundtrack, and then like an arranged remastered soundtrack. And then it's got a few other things. I think you can adjust the speeds and stuff of the game. Not too sure, but that is coming out, Q1 next year. So really excited. Another trailer we got was Persona 5 and announcement of the release date. So same with you. Ukulele, Final Fantasy 12 and Persona 5 are all coming out in Q1 of 2017. So really, it's going to be a lot of games at that time, so I'm going to have to try and space it out properly. But the game looks phenomenal. Obviously, I'm a Persona noob. I recently got Persona 4 Golden. Haven't played it yet. I know it's a big game, so I want to make sure, I'm ready when I play that game. But it just looks really fun, and it looks like it's something different. It's got a bit of that Japanese pop culture sort of vibe, but it's not to the extreme of like Tokyo Mirage Sessions, but it's not to like the complete opposite where it's like Final Fantasy, for example. So I like that. Yeah, it looks something like really interesting, different, I should say. So yeah, going on to some things at E3 highlights. So first off, Last Guardian. So finally we have a release date. It was really good to see the trailer. I really enjoyed it. I wish that there was one scene, spoiler alert, in 3, 2, 1. They showed two of the dog sort of griffin-like. So Trico, obviously what Trico is, there's a little scene that showed another one there. So it's sort of like, it would be a cool surprise actually when we get the game and then we play it and we sort of see that, because at the moment it's looking like, Trico is the only one, and people obviously trying to reference it to Shadow of the Colossus, like Trico's the last Colossus, the Guardian and stuff like that. But now that we know that there's another one there, or maybe others, that could change the dynamics, Or I guess that means it's not as predictable as maybe we thought it would be. Maybe there's a lot more to the story. But finally coming out on October 25th or October 26th here in Australia. Collector's edition was announced. It looks fantastic. It's got a big sort of like statue of Trico with the boy on it. Soundtrack, I think it's digital soundtrack, art book, and something else. But I pre-ordered that. I wanted it, and it looks like it's worthy of it. Like it's a the contents is worth the pre-order. So definitely excited to get that. Final Fantasy 15, we got a bit more information and stuff, but it was a bit, the tech demo, if you've all seen it, was a bit, let's just say, a bit odd, I should say. It was the Titan fight. It sort of looked like the guy didn't even know how to do the battle and stuff. But I feel like I got more, or we've all gotten more than enough from the discovered Final Fantasy 15. So it didn't really, I wasn't really paying too much attention to that. What I was paying a lot of attention to was Zelda Wii U NX / Zelda Breath of the Wild. So this game looks phenomenal. So much content came out for it all at once, so I haven't been able to see all of it, and I felt like after watching like an hour's worth, I didn't need to watch anymore because it was sort of just showing similar stuff. And I guess that was one thing I was been disappointed with, how Zelda's been sort of exposed to us, this game, over the past few years. We basically got nothing other than like really at the beginning, but then all of a sudden we got everything now, and it would have been cool if we just over time just got bit by bit by bit, and then they give us a good chunk now, as opposed to like everything now, because I felt like I was just so overwhelmed, and I would have actually paid more attention had we got bits here and there, and I would have like focused on all the little different things. But still, can't complain. You know, Nintendo really gave a lot of effort and shine to this game at E3, so it's good to know that it is coming out next year. Or I guess they said that last year and the year before, but this time it looks like it's certain. And the fact that it is coming out NX, I'm definitely going to get the NX one and play that. We'll see how we go with the Wii U one. I believe they said that the games will be the exact same in terms of content, so I'm assuming it's just resolution and visual, the graphics and stuff will just be better, enhanced, I should say, on the NX. But some other games. So looking at Sony, we got also Horizon Zero Dawn, another trailer. Looks really cool. It's never sort of a game that I've never played those types of games, but it's something that I'm really interested in playing. So yeah, that was something else. Let's see what else. So there's obviously the Resident Evil 7 trailer. I'm not a Resident Evil fan, so for me it was a bit, I think, and the fact that I'm not even a horror fan either, so this wasn't just Resident Evil, it was also very horror sort of style Resident Evil, at least by the look of the demo. So yeah, not for me. Another one was, let's see, I had it on the tip of my tongue, how could I forget it? Death Stranding, Hideo Kojima game. So obviously we're just seeing an in-game sort of cinematic. At least it said it's going to be in-game, and it looked phenomenal. It really gave me this PT vibe. I guess a lot of that we thought was because we saw Norman Reedus, but then Death also. But from what Kojima's spoken about the game since then, it's not going to be like that. It's very much going to be more of an action-y style game. The only commonality, I guess, or main commonality with the PT demo was that Norman Reedus will be in and Kojima's directing it. But I'm really excited for this, especially seeing that like Luden's image and stuff with the spacesuit and everything. It's got this futuristic look. Even when Reedus, his character, had they show his handcuffs and the way it was glowing, it looked very futuristic. And there's a lot of it's a cinematic or trailer you can really analyze story wise, and Kojima is obviously a master when it comes to telling stories. So really excited for that one. Obviously that's probably going to be a long way off, but can't wait till it comes. We didn't get any Final Fantasy 7 or anything, so that was a bummer, but obviously we got some of that early in the year, so it's good to have seen that. Other things like Xbox. So obviously we've got the Xbox One S, which I think they should just call it the Xbox One Slim, because some people are probably out there a bit confused, like, oh, which one's the S and stuff. If they just call it Slim, everyone would know. As in like people who aren't that knowledgeable about games or aren't that into it, maybe parents buying for children, they don't really know much about the Xboxes and stuff. But it's a bit weird that they announced it and then straight away they announced the Scorpio. It's sort of like, was that a bad move? Is that detracting from the S? And I see what they're doing, and I feel like the reason, or at least what I believe, is that the S should have actually been the original Xbox One, and that was the mistake they made. They made a console that was far too big and underpowered in comparison to the PS4, and I'm not saying that the most powerful system is the best, but if you get a system that's sort of level, like maybe it makes it easier for developers. They can generally develop a game pretty much the same and then release on both platforms. But then nowadays a lot of people are attracted to like power hungry game systems and stuff, so And then they announced the Scorpio. So I felt like the Slim should have been the standard one. You know, it perfectly matches the PS4 in terms of size, and maybe, you know, it's got a bit more power than the original Xbox One. And then the Scorpio acts as like the Neo equivalent. It seems obviously they're going a bit beyond the rumored specs of the Neo, but it's also coming out later than the Neo in terms of rumors. Obviously nothing set in cement. But I guess it does make sense that case if they're doing it for VR and stuff like that. But yeah, interesting one. And, you know, I feel like a lot of these games are now obviously on Windows as well, and they're doing a lot of cross play and stuff like that. Not all games, but the one thing that would make me get an Xbox One is if Lost Odyssey and Blue Dragon became backwards compatible. If not, then I'm sort of just happy just to find a second-hand 360 and play those games there. Lost Odyssey is the only 360 game I have. I don't have an Xbox or anything, but I just really want to play that game. So, but obviously, you know, I want to play it the cheapest way possible. So, you know, if I'm gonna, you know, get a 360 second hand for, you know, like a fifth of the price of a brand new Xbox One, then I'll take the 360. But yeah, otherwise, I'm just trying to think. Obviously, there was a lot at this event. Last year's E3 was actually the first E3 I'd ever watched, and I watched a lot of these conferences live, and it was also one of the best experiences because we got firstly and foremost the announcement of Final Fantasy VII Remake, and watching that live, it was like 4 a.m. when I watched it, and it blew my mind absolutely. And then we got The Last Guardian return and stuff like that, and yeah, it's just, that's a memory, especially you can see that was the first E3 I watched live and stuff like that. But yeah, guys, let me know in the comments below your thoughts on E3 highlights and stuff like that. Like I said, there's probably a lot more and stuff that I've missed and things like that, but there's just so much to cover, and obviously in due time these games will come out and we can talk more about them. But yeah, anyways, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for sharing and subscribing, and until next video, stay spot on.